talking about 3 MLB player props here on PrizePicks for Friday, March 28th. Opening day was yesterday. We went 2 and 3 on the plays that we did give out on the YouTube video. Garrett Crochet just did not pitch very well. He had like 4Ks. We had his over 5.5, but nonetheless, I got same 3 player props here. It's gonna be 2 goblins and then 1 regular line. Yeah, again, check the link in the description below. Hop into the Discord. $9.30 per month, 31 cents per day. It's where I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks. Other cappers in there as well. Super positive community overall. Currently doing a promo right now for first-time members of the Discord. 20% off your first month using promo code TUFF with the link in the description below. But let's get right into it, you guys. Yeah, 2 player props for this MLB slate. Again, opening day was yesterday. Looking forward to a very profitable MLB season. But yeah, let's get into it. So the first one I'm looking at here is going to be Cruz. If I can type. Cruz, I like his over 0.5 hits, runs, plus RBIs. This is just a splits matchup for O'Neal Cruz. Obviously, this is a road game for the Pirates, so it's a good chance he sees 5 plate appearances. Batting number 3 in the 3 spot, again, in front of Tommy Pham, sorry. So it's a great spot for hits, runs, plus RBIs for O'Neal Cruz, but he's facing Connor Gillespie, who's a right-hand pitcher, and last season, O'Neal's splits versus righties versus lefties were just so much better. We can see here versus righties compared to lefties, 271, 344 OBP, 460 slugging compared to 224, 266, and 420. Again, these splits are kind of speaks for themselves here. But again, in 5 plate appearances, which is what he should see tonight, I like this spot considering his pitch arsenal. You can see here, fastball, changeup, cutter, slider. And last season versus the fastball, right-handers, O'Neal Cruz, 0.428 WOBA versus the changeup, 353, cutter, 415, and the slider, 327. He throws at the least. And then, Connor Gillespie just has he didn't have a great last spring training start here. You can see here 6 earned runs, 2 home runs, 8 hits, just got absolutely rocked by the Mets. And again, O'Neal Cruz last season versus right-handers over in 78 of 109 games last season versus right-handed hitters and right-handed pitchers, head-to-head. He went over in 2 of 3. Again, all we need is 1 here in this spot. I like 0.5 hits, runs, with RBIs for O'Neal Cruz. Second one is going to be just a hits line. It's going to be Luis Arraez. I like his over 0.5 hits, runs, plus RBIs here as well. I think there's a ton of upside for this one, considering he's one of the best contact hitters in baseball. You talk about his hits, runs, plus RBIs hit rate. Going back to last year at 0.5, over in 127 and 157, 81% hit rate versus righties, 94 of 113. Again, one of the best contact hitters in all of baseball, and he has a very strong history versus, Reynaldo Lopez. Yeah, he's hitting 423, 26 at-bats, 11 hits, 2 doubles, 1 single, 1 strikeout. So his splits versus him, obviously, are very strong. And then last season, Luis Arraez, again, one of the best contact hitters in all of baseball, versus righties, players that had at least 150 at-bats, 333 last year, which was the 4th highest in all of baseball. Again, Luis, he is also at home in this one, and again, hitting at the top of the lineup, so strong chance he should see 5 plate appearances as well, just giving us, even more upside for that 0.5 hits, runs, plus RBIs. So yeah, those are the 2 goblin plays, and then the straight line play that I do like in this slate is going to be a pitcher fantasy score. It's Jeffrey Springs, over 24.5 pitcher fantasy score. Again, Jeffrey Springs is a pitcher that has an immense amount of talent and has been injured the last couple of years. But we kind of look at Jeffrey Springs and the odds and how it kind of correlates to his fantasy score. So over 5.5 strikeouts, he's plus 132. But if we switch this to 4.5, over 4.5 Ks, he is minus 169, minus 180 on FanDuel, right, for 4.5 Ks. And you can kind of see the kind of K potential that he does have. Last season, was hurt for most of the year, came back, had multiple games of 7+ strikeouts. But what I like about this play here is that his earned runs odds, you look at his earned runs odds under 2.5, he's sitting at minus, 145, minus 140, under 2.5 earned runs allowed. which obviously positively correlates to his fantasy scoreline. Now, like I said, we look at Jeffrey Springs, and we look at how little essentially he's played over the last couple of years. In 2022, he started 25 games. 2022 he played really well. 2.46 ERA in 25 starts, 144 Ks in 135 innings, and then the next season he gets hurt, and then last season he comes back and pitches and throws in 7 games. And again, his fantasy score hit rate last season in those 7 games, he's over in 4 of 7 with 4 overs, but he soared over 36, 39, 42, and 37. This 42 here was versus Seattle, which is the same matchup he gets here tonight versus the Seattle Mariners. Now, Jeffrey Springs in spring training pitched pretty well. I mean, his most recent start where he really ramped it up through 81 pitches, he went 4 innings, 1 earned run, had 8 strikeouts. Okay, and if you don't know how the fantasy scoring works, here's how it breaks down. A win is 6 points. Quality start is 4 points. 1 earned run is -3, and then each strikeout is 3 points, and each out is 1 point. So just kind of giving you an idea of what Jeffrey Springs would need to clear the over on this line. This is his fantasy score game log in his career. You see, kind of the splits and how it works out. But if you go back to the 2022 season, right, when he would pitch just extremely well, you can see kind of the hit rate on this line. And like for Jeffrey Springs, right, let's just kind of see what we would need for like 25, let's say 27 fantasy points. This game here against Boston back in 2022. This is just to kind of give you an example of what we would need from him tonight in this one. 6 innings, he gave up 5 earned runs and 8 Ks. It still hit the over on this line. The K upside is what I like for him, though, given the immense K potential that the Mariners do have, right? The Mariners, we know they strike out a ton. Last season, they ranked third highest strikeout rate versus left-handed pitching. And then again, Luis Severino just yesterday put up 40 fantasy points, 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 6 Ks. And I think Jeffrey Springs has even more strikeout upside in this one, to be honest. So I do like this spot for Jeffrey Springs. I think it's a little bit too low at 24.5. So 3 player props for this MLB video, 2.6x multiplier. Again, hopefully we see some green here. Please drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.